What if I told you that the thing you call escape is actually the most efficient form of control? Machiavelli would have called alcohol the perfect political tool, because you don't have to imprison a man if you can convince him to enjoy his own chains. Look around. The most intelligent minds get weaker not from failure, but from slow indulgence. One drink to relax, another to forget, and eventually you're too fogged to remember what you were escaping from. The truth is brutal. Alcohol doesn't erase pain, it erases direction, and a man without direction is the easiest kind to rule. By the end of this video, you'll see why Machiavelli would have called intoxication the most elegant form of obedience. People don't drink for fun, they drink for relief, and relief is the currency of weakness. Machiavelli understood human nature better than anyone. When a man seeks constant pleasure, he's already surrendered his power. Alcohol sells you the illusion of rebellion while secretly teaching you compliance. You think you're freeing yourself from pressure, but you're actually numbing the instincts that could save you. You stop observing. You stop resisting. You stop thinking clearly enough to see who benefits from your distraction. Because here's the truth. No empire fears drunk citizens. Only the sober ones who can still think. The first step of control isn't censorship. It's intoxication. Silence the mind, and the body follows. Discipline is built in silence, and silence is what alcohol destroys first. Every glass steals a fraction of focus until you can no longer hold your own thoughts steady. Machiavelli said, "He who conquers himself is greater than he who conquers a kingdom." But alcohol reverses that equation. It tricks you into believing comfort equals peace, that relaxation equals power. You stop commanding yourself and start negotiating with temptation. You stop creating and start escaping. And soon the man who once ruled his impulses becomes ruled by them. The worst part, it happens quietly. You don't notice the decay until confidence feels like memory. Why is every celebration soaked in alcohol? Because people who drink together don't think together. Machiavelli observed that the easiest way to weaken a nation is to normalize its vices, turn poison into tradition, and no one questions it. You call it bonding. You call it relaxation, but it's ritualized distraction, a collective hypnosis. Watch any crowd at a party. The louder they get, the less aware they are. And that's the genius of it. A society that mistakes intoxication for connection will never rise above its own noise. They think they're celebrating freedom when they're actually rehearsing obedience. The cruelest kind of slavery is the one that feels like choice. Machiavelli said rulers never need to break a man if they can make him entertain himself. And alcohol does exactly that. It keeps you laughing while you lose yourself. It makes weakness feel like freedom. It replaces awareness with euphoria, just long enough for you to forget the pain that made you drink in the first place. But awareness isn't supposed to feel good. It's supposed to make you grow. And growth always hurts before it liberates. So when you choose numbness over awareness, you're not escaping pain. You're extending it. You're teaching your mind to fear clarity. And once you fear clarity, you're easy to rule. Every addiction has architecture. Alcohol builds its palace slowly, stone by stone, habit by habit. At first, it's harmless, a reward after work. Then, it's a weekend ritual. Then, it's an identity. Machiavelli would call this self-engineered submission. Because when the mind loses discipline, it begins to worship the very thing that weakens it. You'll start defending the habit that destroys you. You'll call it balance. You'll call it living a little. But the truth, it's not living, it's leaking. A little energy here, a little focus there, until you wake up years later wondering why your fire went dim. That's the trick of the poison. It kills you slowly enough for you to call it living. But here's the moment Machiavelli admired most, the point when a man reclaims control. The day he looks at the glass and realizes that the real addiction wasn't to alcohol, it was to escape. You stop needing sedation because silence no longer scares you. You stop numbing your thoughts because you've learned to face them. Discipline returns not through punishment, but through respect. You respect your clarity too much to trade it away. And when that happens, everything sharpens. Your mind, your focus, your presence. People feel the difference. You're not the same man anymore. You've gone from being consumed by life to commanding it. In the end, Machiavelli would tell you this: there's no greater luxury than a clear mind. Because a clear mind can't be bribed, can't be tricked, can't be ruled. Alcohol is the weapon of the world. Clarity is the armor of the awakened. When you stop reaching for escape, you start reaching for excellence. And the things that once owned you begin to orbit around your discipline. Your silence becomes sharper. Your focus becomes frightening. Your presence becomes power. You no longer chase relief. You radiate control. That's what Machiavelli meant when he said, "He who conquers himself fears nothing." So stay clear, stay cold, stay awake. Because in a world built on intoxication, your sobriety is rebellion.